Good morning, guys. Saturday, our day 20, almost at the end. How about you? Good morning. Dave is here. He's alive.
I'm all right. I'm all good. Everyone's fine.
Everything is good. I know it was scary. Even I was like, okay, stay calm. See you tomorrow, guys. Like,
let's just say we had an opportunity for a learning experience.
Yeah.
So everybody's good.
Everybody's healthy. That's important. Nothing happened. Good morning, guys. Say hi to us. I know it's Saturday. I hope you still find a little bit of your time for today. And hey, Kathy, good evening. Yeah, of course,
Okay.
it was still Friday. That's awesome.
Oh, forget that. Yeah, Kathy's in the US like Mike, isn't she?
Yeah.
Good evening, Kathy. Hope you're cruising into your Friday evening very well. I'm looking forward to a smashing weekend.
Probably having already a glass of wine.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah,
it's
not for us.
Too early to think like
Not
that.
for us.
Steve's online. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Steve. Guys, yeah, we would like to start probably with a little bit of wrap up and see where you are at. Did you have any chance to implement any of the tools we talk about? That means avatar, your offer. Did you review anything what you do in your business? Did you have a look on your landing page? Let us know if yes, if you implement something, if you notice any change, or if you get a value from the 21 days. Still Friday. Mike and I are riding up 14,000 foot mountain tomorrow. Oh, great! That's amazing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Is that riding as in cycling or on a motorbike or on a horse?
I think it's cycling.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yeah, Mike is cycling a lot, and oh, I would really miss mountains. That's awesome. Send us some pictures. Send some pictures in the group.
They probably don't realise that I'm a mad cyclist as well. So yeah, if you're definitely doing cycling, let us by all means put some snapshots in there. We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
So Alex, you raise a good point. We've covered quite a few different aspects of business over the last nearly 3 weeks now. You know, we've had a look at cycling up Mount Evans, fantastic. Okay, we've had a look at avatar, so really starting to understand who your ideal customer is, that target market, so that you've taken the noise from a really, really big, massive marketplace down into not just a segment, but a person, an absolute individual on the planet. And if we can talk in our language, in our copy, in our messaging to that individual, we will naturally pick up the more aligned clients with us that are either side of that benchmark, if you like. It's a bit counterintuitive. We have that initial feeling of wanting to cast the net as wide as we possibly can and see how much comes through. But marketing actually works the other way. If you can really, really focus and target your message, other people either side of that market. So you're trying to get that ideal client so that you're really resonating and you're not going off track when you're in that process of working with them together. Yeah. And by doing that, you're picking up the people either side. So it's a very, very important. Avatar is one of the most important things to work on, I believe, in these processes.
Yeah, I would like to add to that. Yeah, thank you very much, Dave. And it's exactly true. That is really important for marketing. And I always try to tell people again and again, it's just for marketing. And I'm not telling you, or we are not telling you that you need to have one avatar. If you have 5 campaigns, you should probably have 5 different campaigns and actually have 5 different avatars. Because you know your program or your product or your service can help probably more people. And I know, I understand you want to attract more of them, but when you have one avatar or one target audience in your advertisement, you need to create a message just for them. And that's why they've said like it's really hard to go into campaigns and create your Facebook advertisement when you see all that broad audience you can target, and you can target billions of people. But that's not right, because that message will be lost. It will be really lost in the crowd. And that's why we were talking about that a lot.
Yeah, I've got a good example there, Alex. I was working with a finance broker at the start of the year now, so we've been working together for about 6 months. But at first, his whole advertising was, you know, if you're a first homeowner, if you're a mum and dad looking to upgrade to a bigger house, you know, if you're wanting to downsize to a smaller house, if the kids have left the nest and you no longer want this big property, if you're a retiree and you want to, you know, move into a unit, if you're an investor and you want to self-manage, it just, his whole ad, he was trying to cram everything into this one ad. So what we did was we actually ended up coming up with 6 different categories that we're working with, and we created an advertising campaign for each one of those categories. So that effectively meant that we had 6 avatars that we're appealing to in that process. Now, his inquiry went from virtually bugger all, because he was trying to be everything to everyone, to now he has a flood of leads coming through because he's got this targeted approach. And all he does is now he just switches the ads on and off in those areas where he wants to be really working. And so it just kind of depends on the team that he has, and they have different specialties, and then that allows them to work through.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Nice to see you here. Yeah, I would like to just continue on that what Dave was talking about, because that's just one part of our 21-day challenge, and it was probably 1 or 2 days that we talk about your ideal client. But there were so many things that came in, and it was all about your offer. There was ascension model. That was your story, your signature talk. We talk about copywriting model, and we talk about a lot of mindset tools. And for me, everybody probably will pick up anything that you actually missing now or you need to use. I'm not saying that you probably, I don't expect everyone, to work on 21 days, because I know there's a lot of content for 21 days, but I believe you pick up something that you really need to follow up on. And I would like to see or hear from you guys, what is that you pick up from that 21 days that you implement, or you actually work on your worksheet and you really get something out of that. Just let us know what was that topic for you. What was the content that you really needed at that time? And
what stood out for you so far? Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's very important to understand also what you need, because we can actually create some pop-ups and live videos exactly for your needs, and that will be so important to move on after this challenge, because we will give you access to these videos probably up to 15th of August, as I mentioned before. But after that, we will package that to the offer, and we will just pop up sometimes and answer your questions and your needs. That means if you will know what you're working on right now, that will be great. Just please share with us, and feel free, if you're watching replay, just share with us anyway, because we are actually seeing the comments coming. And I would like to continue with just wrap up of 3 steps that we always need to do, and especially on social media. And that's number 1 was the story. That means we need to be aware what is our story, what we are going to talk about, who we are, how we show up, what we do, and how we create that story around us that will actually catch our audience. That means that has to be really clear what character you are, who you are on social media or in your business. Number 2 was the content. That means you're adding value to your clients. And number 3 is your offer. Those 3 things, story, content, and offer, are most important. If you want to launch your product or service or anything on social media, or you want to tell the world that you have something and you want to offer them something, you need to be really clear on those 3 things. And that's story, content, and offer. And I will probably just dive in a little bit into launching. You can't really go deeper into launch. Like, we can't really show you exact all steps, because that's something we will do in the program. But probably just to think about it and prepare yourself for your launch would be great. First thing, you have to become a leader in your industry. I will definitely focus on that. That means just really grab all materials, all knowledge, or everything about your product or service. Just be aware that you need to know everything. You need to become an expert. When I'm talking about expertise, it's not that you need to write 10 books about something. It's more about start to believe what you do. Because if you don't believe in your product or service, you should probably change. I always said, and that happened to my clients, that we couldn't move on to the next level. And we were 3 weeks or 4 weeks with my client on the same spot, and she was overwhelmed, she was distracted, and she was pushing so hard. She was always complaining she doesn't have time. It was always so hard. And we actually realized that she didn't trust the product. She didn't want to do what she was doing. And we actually jumped into totally different industry she was dreaming about, and she changed her career. And now she has a lot of time. She has a lot of time for work, for exercise, for nutrition, for son, for kids, for partner. And I don't know how, but you can see that is the thing, that if you actually believe in what you do, you easily can implement things, and you can actually run your launch. You can launch your product, and you will be so proud of that. And people will actually find you as an expert because you will be believing in what you do. And I think that's the really, for me, that's the most important part of the business, because while I was, learning, coaching, and I actually have experience. I had experience for 2 or 3 years, 3 years almost, in American company, and I was coaching people. But if I wouldn't see any result, probably I will never believe in that. But I saw the results in we progressed so much, like we achieved really huge results in customer satisfaction. That means for me that was amazing work, and I know that I can see the work behind me, or I can see the clients that I was mentioning, they actually changed the career and they changed the life and they're happy. And I think that's very important, just to really focus on that.
Cool. We've got a comment from Steve. Steve's written, the challenge has been very helpful to identify areas of my business that have forced a rethink on the type of models that I should be heading towards for his business. Fantastic, Steve. And just keep taking that deeper and deeper and deeper. And the more clarity you can have, the easier your business will become, and the way leads will flow into your business. And it's not this, you can switch your business from a feeling of having to chase people, hunt leads down. It's a real grind to consistently find those people that you want to work with, to actually having a flow where they're literally just knocking on your door when you get these processes right.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for comment. That's really great. And yeah, I will probably just run through the steps we talked about already when you launch your business online. First thing that was we covered already, you need to have your lead magnet. As I mentioned, try to don't spend any more time on your lead magnet, or put time into that. That means if you want to share something with people, try to create a lead magnet that is not costing you any more of your time. That means it's something that can be download online on your website. You can share it in email automation, whatever it is, but something that you don't need to spend time on anymore. It can be ebook, it can be book, whatever it is for you. It can be sample of your product. It can be anything.
So that can even be, so that those two interim steps, there's that that value add, the client experience, how they can see you. It might be the blogs that they see the information on your website. It could be a YouTube channel, a number of things. So there's that experience that they can actually go, oh, what's this business all about? What's this person all about? And then, as Alex was just alluding to as well, then you've got that very early entry level product as well. And it could just be, you've written a book and you could charge $5.95 for them to actually buy the book. Okay, and then that actually gets sent through.
Yeah, but lead magnet is free stuff. Like lead magnet. Lead magnet. What we try to basically tell people is usually something that we want to have done, and it shouldn't cost us any money, any time. Sorry.
The process should be automated, so you don't have to physically do anything.
Yeah, right. because it's something that we want to offer. We want people to have experience, but a major thing is, or most important thing is, your lead magnet should help people to solve one little tiny step, one thing. Because if the lead magnet is not helping them with anything, they will probably don't continue in your funnel. They will don't continue to be interested in your videos or your blogs. You need to always focus on your client. If you know your ideal client, that's why we always say you need to know your ideal client. I just feel silly to always repeat that, but that's the thing. When you know your ideal client, you know their problems and you know what they need to solve right now. It's changing over time. Of course, it changed probably during the COVID-19. And I believe there is another thing, you should revisit your email automation. What is your content about? And really understand what is now their problems, because the problems and issues now they change last 4 months. And also there is permanent change that I always want to mention, but in human behavior, we had huge change. And there is almost 70 people shopping online, guys. That's why I'm always saying, whatever business you have, just take it online, because that will never change back. It will never go back. This will be, our planet is going to be online, and it's so real and so true. And if you're not doing that now, it can be late when you will wake up, next year. That's why we ran this program, and basically we change our program content, because we know we need to actually sell online. That means that's why we talk about launching the product online and all that stuff and your offers. Yep.
Alex, that probably leads really nicely into landing pages. Do you want to do a recap on what we discussed on landing pages?
That's the next step. Yes, definitely. No, that's great. Thank you very much because that basically landing page should be landing page for your lead magnet, because that's where you want to actually direct people, because you want them to go to landing page that is actually offering them that step, that lead magnet. And basically you communicate all the value, everything about your lead magnet on that landing page in that 11 steps. That was like a huge structure we offered. I think that was 4 days ago when we talked about landing page, you can revisit the video, just check it out and probably just watch it again and see your worksheet. But that is basically something that you need to have if you want to actually launch your product. If you want to launch your funnel, you need your landing page for your lead magnet. And after that, yeah.
And we had a couple of questions offline with landing pages around. They can be, so where is a landing page hosted was the question, you know, and they can be completely independent of everything that you do, or they could even be like a hidden page off your own website, you know, when you've got, or your own company, about us, what we do and so forth. You can have hidden pages so that the landing pages, when you send the URL out, it's pointing directly to those pages. So they can be hosted literally anywhere. That's something to be mindful of. A lot of people think that it has to be almost part of this. How do you fit it into the menu items of your own web page and so forth? And generally speaking, landing pages are silent to the rest of your web page. Okay, so they can be hidden in that sequence, or they can be hosted completely independent of that.
Yeah, thank you. That's good. Actually, good point. I definitely like to do or create our landing pages in Elementor, in WordPress. It's very easy. It's very simple. I did landing pages in ClickFunnels before. I did landing pages. You can even create, I think, from MailChimp and MailerLite, you can create landing pages through that.
Unbounce as well. There's plenty of them. Yeah.
It's a lot of them. And what is probably important is that you can have landing page for everything also on your website. You can have landing page for a free call. You can have landing page for your email list, subscribers that you want to actually get into your blog, or if you want to get them into your newsletter. You can, like we have, as I mentioned, I can't remember really number. I think it's between 20 and 30 landing pages that we have already on our website. And why I'm always saying do it on your website, that's just me, but I'm always saying that because Google actually is noticing and capturing the websites, and you will get better ranking when you have more than 15 or 20 pages within your website. That means when you have very simple website with just 3 pages, like about, contact, and something else, that is not going to be really ranked that great. If you have 15 or 20 pages within your website, Google will recognize that, and they will be like, oh, that is, someone who is doing a lot of content, someone who's actually adding value to people. They just really think differently about that. That means just do it within your website if you can. I think that's the best.
There's an important part of that though, that you don't go make your website just noise, where it's we do this and we do this and we do this, and do you want fries with that? But wait, there's more, where it just becomes this website which is just awkward to follow, ridiculous amounts of information, and yet you'll generally find that websites like that, it's all I or we. It's not in the language of the client and the problem that you're solving. So it's just to be careful to make sure that you don't have that website that is losing touch and the purpose of what it is. So as Alex was saying, we've got 30 odd pages on the back of our website, but probably a good 18 or 19 of them you'll never see unless you're getting sent the specific URL.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. Next step I will probably just add is create your email automation. And people usually have 1 or 2 emails. People don't want to do it because we all think, and we are all annoyed by so many emails coming into our mailbox. But remember, you subscribe to them. That means it's our fault that we subscribe always to something, and we are getting everyday email. If your avatar loves the content, you should send them email even every 2 or 3 days. It depends. For me, the best timing, I'm trying every 5 days or every 7 days, but it has to make sense. That means you need to create your email automation now. When we're talking about your lead magnet, your landing page, now you need to create and offer them in emails, next step and video and content. You need to add value through the emails, but always offer next step. That means, again, through the emails, you can solve another small issue, or you can give them advice, or you can do something for your client, for your ideal client. You can create articles about something they are really interested in, and you offer always next step, and that next step will be, again, call to action, of course. And after that, when you will have that cycle of email automation, you prepare them and you tell them that you're launching your new product or service. That means now you're creating the campaigns. That's another step. You're creating campaigns on social media, or you're creating blogs, newsletters, email automation. You're creating basically information or posts and campaigns. It depends what you will make decision about, like if there will be paid campaign or it's going to be organic. I suggest when you're launching product, I will probably do paid campaign, but it depends how active you were on social media before. It's just so many things, you know, guys, that we need to consider in launching the product, and actually if you're going to do paid advertisement or not. And also when you do paid advertisement, I will definitely create at least 10 different advertisement. That means 10 different pictures or videos, and you need to test them. Just remember, if you're going to launch something, you need to test your advertisement, and you need to add, but from that 10 advertisement, you need to understand which one is the best. What is the best performing, which advertisement is actually giving you most reach, most clicks. You need to test your advertisement, because you will never make it on a once, you know, first time. And it never really happened to me as well when I started to advertise. You know, it's just, you can't have success with just one thing because you suggest or you think that these colors will work for people or this picture will work for people.
Yeah, very important, Alex. We've noticed from our own testing that sometimes just changing the picture can make all the difference in the world so you test by running exactly the same ad with two different pictures, and you'll find that one will work over the other.
Yeah,
It can also be changing the headline, so grabbing their attention.
exactly.
And sometimes we've also seen just putting a bit of color into the different fonts and stuff like that as well. So but you've got to run those comparisons so that you get that feedback, and the more you practice it, the better you get at it.
Yeah, and definitely that's something, even when you are working with digital marketing companies or you're doing that by yourself, you just always need to keep that in mind. What I do basically, we testing the videos. That means we have I think we have 3 videos now. That is three different videos going out there and 7 or 8 pictures. That means when we will actually offer the program, there will be 10 different advertisements that will go out, and probably after 1 week you can see some results. People say 2-3 days. I don't think that's enough, but you can see already what advertisement is not performing at all. That means you can probably switch off at least that one or change something. But I always give myself time at least 1 week. And basically, when you do anything like that, when you're going to launch your product and you're going to tell people about that, I suggest to do it on every platform, everywhere, like everywhere. Same week, if you can, do posts every day, maybe 3 times. As I mentioned, social media probably before, you should post on your business page at least 3 times a day. I know it's crazy, but that's why we have social media virtual assistants that can actually help us with that. Or you can schedule your posts. That means you can actually sit down Sunday or Saturday, prepare your content for a week or a month. I was doing that always for a month, but now because we started to do 21-day challenge and all different things in our business, I can plan only for a week. And always schedule the post, and that way you don't need to go back. You can just read the comments during the week. But remember, if you want to really grow your social media, you need to have at least 3 posts a day. I'm guilty. I'm not doing 3 posts a day, but it is actually important. But that's why our social media are not growing the way that I want, because I was probably just focusing on this stuff now and give you some value through the content, and that was more important for us.
And that's one of the things of business. You're wearing multiple hats all the time, and you can be going down the rabbit hole with a particular process or campaign, and you start to neglect some of the other things that are important within your business. So that's where it starts to, where Alex and I are moving into that phase where we're outsourcing certain things to happen because we just don't have enough time between us to tackle absolutely everything. But we've started to realize that, hey, these, out of the 30 things that we've got to do, these 20 we can do really, really well ourselves. These other 10, we're better off outsourcing that. And then that gives us back those 2, 3, 4, 10 hours a week, whatever it might be, that we're not bogged down in that. We understand it. We know how to do things, but we're not efficient at it. So we're better off getting someone, use those efficiency factors of people that specialize in that area.
Yeah, thanks. And basically, all these preparations and launching your campaign, it's really broad. Like, it's really hard to put it into 20 or 30 minutes. But basically, you are in the stage that now you should build your brand on social media. and reach your broader audience. And I always say that that the things that I mentioned at the beginning, and it was your story, number one, content number two, and offer number three, that is always something that you need to work with. Basically, use that on your Facebook. Facebook is always Facebook. The best region Facebook is always when you start your story, your content, adding value, and at the end you do offer. I know LinkedIn is opposite. LinkedIn is all about content, add value, content, maybe your story a little bit later, and offer. It's every platform works a little bit different way, but that's probably a big topic we can't really talk about
Yeah.
right now, but it's important.
LinkedIn's whole structure is your story can actually be there on your own page, if you like. So if you're adding value, constantly putting out good content, adding value, good content, adding value, if they want to know your story, they can click onto you and it's pretty much there spelt out.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's not something you have to spell out in the ads all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't post your story, because that's exactly like the behavior on LinkedIn is a little bit different. That means you don't really say like, oh, that's me, I'm doing these amazing things. No, that's probably Facebook. That means we need to really separate those two things. And also content is a little bit different. Guys, I'm still waiting for some comments. What did you implement into your business, or what did you get from 21 days? I'm still waiting and watching you. Then it's just let us know, because that's really important.
While we're waiting for that, Alex, should we do a quick recap on knowing the numbers, the stuff that we covered yesterday?
Yeah, I will just basically say, I mean, we can go definitely deeper into launching your product, but I just really try to mention the major steps, what to do, how to prepare, having landing page for lead magnet, and start your post, and start your advertisement, start your advertisement on Facebook or LinkedIn, and also adding the value and content and your story into the different platforms, and really push that. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I want to mention, but let's do numbers, because I think that's probably more important right now. And let's check it out.
I think it's all equally as important. But
yeah, I know. It's I have like another probably 30 minutes to talk about.
Look, we could talk all day on this stuff. It's a lot to cram into 30 minutes. Knowing your numbers gives you a really good basis for your financial goals. You know, we spoke about understanding. Start with the end in mind. What sort of revenue do you want to have on a monthly basis or an annual basis? You know, and I think yesterday we used the model of $5,000 per month. Clear profit, which was $60,000 a year, and working on an expenses of around $30,000 to generate that, whether that be your infrastructure, your IT, your rents, your overhead, your electricity, outsourcing costs, or web hosting. The list goes on. So then you've got to reverse engineer that to go, well, if I sell a product at so I've got to make for $5,000 a month profit, I've actually got to make $7,500 in total gross income, so that I've actually got those costs coming off, and I'm still left with a $5,000 profit. So if you've got a product that's selling at $1,000 per product, well, that's 8 products in that month that you've got to sell, which is 2 products per week. So you're starting to break that down to give yourself some meaningful goals to actually achieve those targets. And if you had multiple products, then you've got to do the ratio, go, well, okay, I move 1 of these a month, I move 5 of these a month, I move 2 of these a month, and 3 of those, whatever it happens to work out to get to that. And then tying all that back in, that's where you start to develop your lead magnets, your funnels, your landing pages, all to actually bring traffic to your business, to you, to literally open the front door, so that you can transact with people in order to generate that revenue. So starting with the end in mind, knowing what your true costs are, knowing what the profit is that you want to actually make, gives you that whole focus to actually go, now what's the real number?
Yeah, and what is important as well, that way you can actually start to really plan what is your budget for advertisement and for campaigns, and how many campaigns you can start to do. If you can maybe launch all your products at the same time, and you can have 5 different or 10 different campaigns for different products. I'm not talking about that 10 different advertisement for one product, but it's very important, because even though like last probably few weeks we starting actually with new digital marketing company. And we also had to make a financial plan, how much we can invest. And we are investing a few $1,000s basically from last week. And we will measure in 2-3 weeks time again, revisit the numbers, and again, see what is the budget and how much we need to get, how many leads we got. And all this stuff basically is on you to really evaluate and revisit the numbers, because nobody else is going to do that for you. And you need to be very aware after like 2 or 3 weeks, like, okay, I'm not getting results, that probably something is wrong. And don't really keep paying something or paying someone that is not giving you any results. That means it's really, really knowing your numbers is really most important in business. But I think everybody here is probably agreeing with us. And we have 1 minute to go. And I would say probably just at the end, because we didn't have really time to talk about our program, that what we will do, probably we will do it tomorrow, because I want you to know what steps we will show you in the program, what we run, because the program is actually for this price only this year, because we actually having normal price for 2021. This year, basically, we changed pricing for our 2 products, because we really want people to get it and grow their business, what is really important. And especially now when we're changing everything online. That means if you're at that stage that you're starting the business, or you're just changing your business, or you're not sure about the marketing, or you're not sure about your ideal client, and you want to get more leads, you want to get more clients, you want to know how to convert them. We didn't even time to talk about the sales strategies that what it will help you to actually convert your clients, but that's all in our program. Sadly, we didn't have enough time to probably put it into 21 days challenge. We will probably need to run 28 or 30, but we try to give you as much as you can use by yourself and implement into your business to be actually a leader on your social media and be a leader on different platforms, and really get out there and tell people about your product and your story, your content, and really focusing on adding the value. I believe when you will implement steps from 21 Day Challenge, you will definitely grow your business. I would love to see some results, but I didn't get any answer yet from people that what actually they implemented. But it will be great to know about that, because if you did something from that 21 days, definitely will help you to grow. And yeah, we will go even deeper in our program, but I will talk about that probably tomorrow, because it's 8:31 and it's Saturday. Guys, we don't want to keep you here anymore.
Have a fantastic weekend, everyone.
Yeah.
Good luck to Kathy and Mike climbing Mount Evans tomorrow as they make their way back and forth along the switchbacks on the way up to the Maya Womble Observatory. Yes, I've managed to do a little bit of research on that, and as being an absolute nut cycling fan, I'm very much in knowing what they're doing. So good luck with that, because it'll be a hell of a climb. Good work.
Definitely send us pictures. That will be amazing. Maybe some videos. Say hi.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. See you tomorrow.
Beautiful weekend. Bye. See ya.
Bye.